Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Saira Mujtaba and with me is Anuja Kumar with the Midday News. The headlines. Lok Sabha witnesses adjournments following uproar by opposition on different issues, including fuel price hike. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address BJP workers on party's Foundation Day tomorrow. Today is National Maritime Day. India's maritime sector has scaled new heights and contributed to boosting trade and commercial activities, says Prime Minister. Stand Up India scheme completes 6 years today. Loans worth over 30,160 crore rupees sanctioned to more than 1,33,000 beneficiaries. In Sri Lanka, at least 40 lawmakers walk out of the alliance amid growing unrest over an economic crisis. IMD predicts heat wave condition in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Telangana and some other parts of the country during the next 5 days. And in sports, FIH Women's Junior World Cup, Indian hockey team to square off against Malaysia and South Africa this evening. Lakshya Sen cruised to the second round of men's singles in Korea Open Badminton Championship at Sanchin. In IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals to take on Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. Lok Sabha has been adjourned till 2 p.m. amid sloganeering by opposition members. As soon as the House met for the day, opposition members came into the well of the House raising slogans on different issues, including fuel price hike. Leader of Opposition and Congress leader Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary asked the chair to take up the discussion on price rise issue. Speaker Om Birla tried to run the question hour for a while, but the opposition members continued sloganeering, prompting the speaker to adjourn the House till 12 noon. Later, when the House met after the first adjournment, there was no change in the situation as opposition members again trooped into the well of the House. The speaker adjourned the House till 2 p.m. The government has enhanced the financial allocation under the Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Scheme or MNREGA for the last 2 financial years. In a written reply in Lok Sabha, Minister of Rural Development Giriraj Singh said that in the previous financial year 2020-21, the budget estimate was 61,500 crores, which was increased to 1,11,500 crores at the revised estimate stage. In the current financial year also, the budget provision at the budget estimate stage was 73,000 crore rupees, which has been enhanced to 98,000 crore rupees.
Several MPs from Telangana displayed banners seeking procurement of rice by the central government. The Telangana Rashtra Samiti-led state government in Telangana has been insisting that the 90% of paddy produced in the state should be procured by the central government alongside completing the balanced procurement of rice of the last Rabi season. They also shouted slogans in the House during the question hour. The centre has stated that it had enough stock of parboiled paddy to last for 4 more years. Therefore, they would not be able to procure more than what has been promised by Central Procuring Agency, Food Corporation of India. The government today said at present 577 Indian fishermen and 1,164 fishing boats are in the custody of Pakistan, while 23 Indian fishermen and 19 fishing boats are in Sri Lankan custody. In a written reply in the Lok Sabha, Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairying Minister Parashottam Rupala said the government accords the highest priority to welfare, safety and security of the Indian fishermen. He said all possible assistance, including legal assistance, is extended to the fishermen for their early release and repatriation along with the release of their boats. Mr. Rupala said Tamil Nadu government supports the families of apprehended fishermen by providing daily allowance of 250 rupees to maximum of 7,500 rupees per month to them. He said Gujarat government has been implementing a family relief scheme for providing financial assistance of 300 rupees per day to the family of the fishermen.
The government today said that it attaches highest importance to the safety and security of every citizen of the country, including journalists, and an advisory specifically for the safety of journalists has been issued to the states. In a written reply to a question in Lok Sabha about the steps taken to check attacks on media people in the country, Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said that the advisory is about strict enforcement of the law to ensure the safety of media persons. In reply to another question, the Minister informed the House that at present the total number of registered publications with the Registrar of Newspapers for India till the 31st of March 2021 is 1,44,520. The Minister of State for Rural Development, Sadhi Niranjan Jyoti, today informed the Lok Sabha that Members of Parliament had identified 2,697 Gram Panchayats across the country under Sansad Adarsh Gram Yojana since its launch. In a written reply to a question, she said SAGY aims to create holistically developed model Gram Panchayats across the country.
The Rajya Sabha has taken up the Chartered Accountants, the Cost and Work Accountants and the Company Secretaries Amendment Bill 2022 for consideration and passing. The bill seeks to amend the Chartered Accountants Act 1949, the Cost and Works Accountants Act 1959 and the Company Secretaries Act 1980. The bill was moved by Finance and Corporate Affairs Minister Nirmala Sitharaman in the Rajya Sabha. The bill proposes to strengthen the disciplinary mechanism under these acts and provide for time-bound disposal of cases against members of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India, the Institute of Cost Accountants of India, and the Institute of Company Secretaries of India. The legislation also adds that firms must register with the institutes by making an application to the respective councils of the institutes. The councils must maintain a register of firms containing details such as pendency of any actionable complaint or imposition of penalty against the firms. Over 84% eligible beneficiaries aged above 18 years and above have received both doses of COVID-19 vaccines in the country. This was stated by the Health and Family Welfare Minister, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today. He said 97% eligible beneficiaries have received the first dose under the National COVID-19 vaccination program. However, 2 crore 60 lakh eligible beneficiaries above 18 years of age have not taken even single dose of vaccine. The minister added that over 51% beneficiaries aged between 15 to 18 years have received both doses of COVID vaccines. The number of undergraduate medical seats has increased 75% and postgraduate seats by 93% since 2014 in the country. This was stated by the Health and Family Welfare Minister, Dr. Mansukh Mandavia, in a written reply in the Rajya Sabha today. He said the number of undergraduate seats has increased from 51,348 in 2014 to 89,875 seats in 2022. The number of postgraduate seats has also increased from 31,185 seats to 60,202 seats. The minister said the government has taken various steps to increase the number of seats in various medical institutes and colleges in the country.
Minority Affairs Minister Mukhtar Abbas Naqvi has said record 2 lakh Hajj pilgrims visited Saudi Arabia in 2019. Responding to a query during the 0 hour raised by Muhammad Nadimul Haq of Trinamool Congress regarding the Hajj pilgrims this year, the minister said Saudi Arabia's government has to take a decision in this regard. He said the government is trying for Hajj pilgrims and it is fully prepared. Earlier, as the House met for the day, 2 newly elected BJP members from Himachal Pradesh and Tripura took oath in the Rajya Sabha. Dr. Sikandar Kumar from Himachal Pradesh and Manik Saha from Tripura took the oath. BJP will observe Social Justice Fortnight to mark its foundation day tomorrow. During the fortnight from the 7th to the 20th of this month, the party workers will organize programs at the booth, block and district levels to highlight the benefits of government welfare schemes. Briefing the media after BJP Parliamentary Party meeting in New Delhi today, Senior Party Leader and Union Minister Prahlad Joshi said there will be programs every day based on government schemes including Ayushman Bharat, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana and Har Ghar Jal Yojana during the period.
From 7th to 20th इस पखवाड़ा चल रहा है और इसमें for all 15 days there will be one or other program and इस प्रोग्राम में एक दिन हम तालाब स्वच्छता का एक कार्यक्रम ले रहे हैं, आंगनवाड़ी जा रहे हैं, ऐसे बहुत कार्यक्रम है और सभी हमारे एमपीज को माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने एक आह्वान किया है, उन्होंने प्रेरणा दी है कि 15 दिवस के आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के इस पर्व पर सभी आप अपने क्षेत्र में सेवा के कार्य में लगाइए। अम्बेडकर का जयंती का दिन भी विशेष प्रोग्राम का माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आह्वान की है।
Mr. Joshi informed that Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address BJP workers on the party's foundation day tomorrow. Yesterday, BJP President JP Nadda held a meeting of the party General Secretaries to take stock of preparedness to celebrate party's foundation day.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the Delimitation Commission, headed by retired Supreme Court Judge Ranjana Prakash Desai, arrived in Srinagar this morning to meet the civil society members, political parties, members of Panchayati Raj institutions and hear the public delegations hailing from all the 10 districts of Kashmir Division. The Delimitation Commission has been tasked to redraw the boundaries of assembly and parliamentary constituencies post the abrogation of Article 370 and bifurcation of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir into two union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh on August 5, 2019. The Delimitation Commission is presently meeting the public delegations, political parties and members of civil society and Panchayati Raj institutions of the Kashmir Valley in two sessions in Srinagar. Earlier, the Commission, which is on a two-day visit to the Union Territory since yesterday, had met several public delegations, members of civil society and political parties from all the districts of Jammu Division at Jammu yesterday. Today is National Maritime Day. Each year, India celebrates National Maritime Day on April 5 to commemorate India's first merchant sea voyage in the trading world. The day is observed yearly by the Ministry of Ports, Shipping and Waterways. The day is celebrated to show gratitude to the men who spend many months in the sea, carrying out the bulk of India's trade and commerce at a global level. The theme of the 59th edition of the National Maritime Day 2022 celebrations is Sustainable Shipping Beyond COVID-19. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said India's maritime sector has scaled new heights and contributed to boosting trade and commercial activities. In his message on National Maritime Day, Mr. Modi said that in the last 8 years, his government has focused on port-led development, which includes expanding port capacities and making the existing systems even more efficient. He said waterways are being harnessed to ensure Indian products get access to new markets. The Prime Minister said that while government is leveraging the maritime sector for economic progress and building an Atmanirbhar Bharat, adequate care is also being taken to ensure the marine ecosystem and diversity is safeguarded.
The 6th anniversary of the Stand Up India scheme is being celebrated today. Over 30,160 crore rupees have been sanctioned under the Stand Up India scheme to more than 1,33,995 accounts since the inception of the scheme. Stand Up India scheme was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on the 5th of April 2016. It facilitates loans to scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and women borrowers for setting up a greenfield enterprise in manufacturing, services or trading sector. A report.
Stand Up India scheme was launched to promote entrepreneurship at grassroots level, focusing on economic empowerment and job creation. The objective of the Stand Up India scheme is to facilitate loans between 10 lakh and 1 crore rupees to at least one scheduled caste or scheduled tribe borrower and one woman borrower per bank branch. In 2019-20, the scheme was extended till 2025. The scheme envisages to facilitate the dreams of aspiring SC, ST and women entrepreneurs to reality by supporting their energy and enthusiasm and removing hurdles from their path. Suparna Sekya, AIR News, Delhi.
Over 184 crore 87 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. India's active caseload currently stands at 12,054. Recovery rate is currently at 98.76%. A total of 1,280 recoveries were reported in the last 24 hours and has increased the total recoveries to more than 4 crore 24 lakh. 795 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Lok Sabha witnesses adjournments following uproar by opposition on different issues, including fuel price hike. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address BJP workers on the party's foundation day tomorrow. Today is National Maritime Day. India's maritime sector has scaled new heights and contributed to boosting trade and commercial activities, says Prime Minister. Stand Up India scheme completes 6 years today. Loans worth over 30,160 crore rupees sanctioned to more than 1,33,000 beneficiaries. In Sri Lanka, at least 40 lawmakers walk out of their alliance amid growing unrest over an economic crisis. IMD predicts heat wave condition in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Telangana and some other parts of the country during the next 5 days. And in sports, in FIH Women's Junior World Cup, Indian hockey team to square off against Malaysia in South Africa this evening. Lakshya Sen cruised to the second round of men's singles in Korea Open Badminton Championship at Suncheon. And in IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals to take on Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
क्या आप कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहे हैं? ऑल इंडिया रेडियो के नए प्रोग्राम अभ्यास में हमारे विशेषज्ञ आपके सवालों का देंगे जवाब। शनिवार रात 9:30 बजे FM गोल्ड पर। इस बार का विषय है इंडियन पॉलिटी एंड कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन। आप इससे जुड़े सवाल व्हाट्सएप करें 9289094044 पर या सवाल ईमेल भी कर सकते हैं abhyas.airnews@gmail.com पर। भारतीय संविधान और राजनीति विषय पर आपके प्रश्न हमें 5 अप्रैल तक मिल जाने चाहिए। आपका अभ्यास हमारा प्रयास।
Welcome back. You're listening to the Midday News. Pakistan Supreme Court today resumed the hearing on the ruling issued by the National Assembly Speaker, which dismissed the no-confidence motion against Prime Minister Imran Khan on account of being allegedly sponsored by a foreign power. Pakistan's top court had taken so motu cognizance of the current political situation in the country. Pakistan's embattled Prime Minister Imran Khan stunned the opposition on Sunday by recommending snap elections within 3 months, minutes after a no-confidence motion against him was dismissed by the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly. Imran Khan then got Pakistan President Arif Alvi to dissolve the 342-member National Assembly. He also nominated former Chief Justice Gulzar Ahmed for the office of Caretaker Prime Minister. US has once again refuted Pakistan Prime Minister Imran Khan's allegations that Washington is interfering in Pakistan's politics. During a regular press briefing today, State Department spokesperson Ned Price rejected the allegation and said US believes in democratic principles not only in Pakistan but around the world.
In Sri Lanka, at least 40 lawmakers walked out of their alliance amid growing unrest over an economic crisis, according to parliamentary proceedings. According to media reports, MPs from parties aligned with Mr. Rajapaksa's Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna SLPP-led coalition said that they would now independently represent themselves. It comes as the South Asian nation is grappling with power cuts and shortages due to an economic and foreign exchange crisis. Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi held telephonic talks with his Ukrainian counterpart Dmytro Kuleba yesterday for the first time in more than a month. Both the leaders discussed the situation in Ukraine, in which Wang said that China welcomes Russia-Ukraine peace talks. China has blamed the US and the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, or NATO, for the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. Wang told Kuleba that Beijing believes establishing a balanced and sustainable security mechanism is key to Europe's lasting security, while Kuleba urged Beijing to play its part in stopping the war.
China on Tuesday reported more than 16,500 new COVID cases recorded over the previous 24 hours as the country grappled with the ever highest new COVID cases, mounting frustration and new sub-strain BA.1.1. Shanghai, a city of 25 million, currently under a citywide lockdown, reported more than 13,300 new cases, mainly due to BA.2. India Meteorological Department IMD has predicted heavy rainfall in Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya and Sikkim over the next 3 days. IMD has also predicted that a low pressure area is likely to form over the southeast Bay of Bengal this week. The Met Department said that heavy rainfall is also likely to occur in sub-Himalayan West Bengal. Heat wave to severe heat wave condition is prevailing in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Telangana and some other parts of the country. Talking to AIR News, senior scientist in India Meteorological Department R.K. Jainamani said the heat wave condition is going to stay in these areas during the next 5 days.
Regarding the heat wave, as per the latest today IMD on 5th April, heat wave to severe heat wave are there, prevailing over Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, North Maharashtra, interior Maharashtra, including Vidarbha and Madhya Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar and South East. So very large area, also Telangana. So these are of the temperature 41 to 44. Such condition, including Haryana, Delhi also, we have some temperature fall 1 to 2 degree, but it will again start rise tomorrow. There has not been any rain for last many days and no chance also for next 5 to 7 days. So this heat wave condition is going to stay actually.
And now let's listen to our special program Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. Birth of a nation. India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of this struggle every day.
बहनों और भाइयों, पिछला चुनाव नहीं था, भारत की जनता का एक महान अभियान था। उस समय के परिस्थितियों को बदल देने का, तानाशाही के धारा को मोड़ देने का और भारत में प्रजातंत्र के बुनियाद को मजबूत कर देने का एक क्रांति हुई और इस क्रांति का फल आज देखने को मिल रहा है। आज का दिन विश्व के इतिहास में अपना सानी नहीं रखता।
In today's episode, we remember freedom fighter and crusader of social justice Babu Jagjeevan Ram, who was born on the 5th of April 1908 in Bhojpur, Bihar. He founded the Akhil Bharatiya Ravidas Mahasabha in Calcutta and the All India Depressed Classes League for involving the depressed classes in the freedom struggle.
Jagjeevan Ram played a very active role in the freedom struggle. He became a legislator at the young age of 28 in the year 1936 as a nominated member of the Bihar Legislative Council. When the Congress government was formed in 1937, Jagjeevan Ram was appointed as the parliamentary secretary in the Ministry of Education and Development. However, in 1938, he resigned along with the entire cabinet.
Inspired by Gandhiji, Jagjeevan Ram courted arrest on the 10th of December 1940. After his release, he entrenched himself deeply into the civil disobedience movement. Jagjeevan Ram was arrested again on the 19th of August 1942 for his active participation in the Quit India movement. After his release, he became the youngest minister in the interim government in 1946. As a member of the Constituent Assembly of India, he ensured that social justice was enshrined in the Constitution.
Jagjeevan Ram went on to serve as a minister with various portfolios for the next 30 years. He was the Defence Minister of India during the Indo-Pak War of 1971, which resulted in the creation of Bangladesh. His contribution to the Green Revolution in India and modernizing Indian agriculture during his 2 tenures as Union Agriculture Minister are still remembered. We salute the great nationalist.
We also remember Mahatma Gandhi's second son, Manilal Gandhi, who died on the 5th of April 1956.
Manilal was born on the 28th of October 1892 in Rajkot, British India. Between 1906 and 1914, he lived at the Phoenix Settlement and Tolstoy Farm established by Gandhiji. After a brief visit to India, Manilal returned to South Africa in 1917 to assist in printing the newspaper Indian Opinion. Manilal took over in 1920 as the editor of the paper.
Manilal also endeavoured hard to stay as true to the Gandhian ethos as possible. Manilal went to prison several times for protesting against what he perceived as unjust laws. Former South African President Nelson Mandela had once recalled that Manilal's gentle demeanour seemed the personification of non-violence. Manilal was one of the initial 78 marchers to accompany Gandhiji on the 1930 Salt March. He also served a 10-month prison term for his involvement in the march to Dharsana salt works that followed soon after Dandi.
Manilal remained editor of Indian Opinion until 1956, the year of his death. We salute the great Gandhian.
We remember freedom fighter Nawab Singh Chauhan, who died on the 5th of April 1981. He joined the freedom movement in 1930 on the call of Gandhiji and started taking part in anti-British activities.
Nawab Singh was born on the 16th of December 1909 in Aligarh, Uttar Pradesh. He was expelled from the college for raising anti-British slogans. During the Satyagraha in 1940, Nawab Singh Chauhan led villagers in Aligarh. He was arrested and spent almost 3 years in jail. After independence, Nawab Singh joined politics and served as a member of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. He worked towards empowerment of depressed classes, rural development and agricultural research.
Nawab Singh was also known for his Hindustani poetry and used the pen name Kanj as a poet and worked towards development of bridge literature and art. We salute the great Indian.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to Babu Jagjeevan Ram on his birth anniversary today. He said Babu Jagjeevan Ram was widely admired for his administrative skills and concern for the poor. On to sports. Indian women's hockey team will square off against Malaysia in their last Pool D match of the FIH Women's Junior World Cup at Potchefstroom, South Africa today. The Indians are currently atop Pool D with 2 wins from as many games ahead of second place Germany.
In the Korea Open Super 500 badminton tournament at Suncheon City, World Championships bronze medalist Lakshya Sen and fast-rising Malvika Bansod progressed to the second round of the men's and women's singles competitions respectively after registering 3-game wins. In the men's doubles events, India's pair of Krishna Prasad Garaga and Vishnuvardhan Gaud Panjala lost to Indonesia's Pramudya Kusama Vardhana and Yeremia Yerik Yosh Yakub Ramitan. India's HS Pranoy also went down to Malaysia's Shiem Jun Wei in women's singles. In the IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals will lock horns with Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai this evening. Last night, Lucknow Super Giants beat Sunrisers Hyderabad by 12 runs at D.Y. Patil Stadium in Navi Mumbai. Put into bat first, Lucknow posted 169 for 7 wickets in 20 overs. Chasing the target, Hyderabad were restricted at 157 runs for the loss of 9 wickets in the stipulated overs.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Lok Sabha witnesses adjournments following uproar by opposition on different issues, including fuel price hike. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to address BJP workers on party's Foundation Day tomorrow. Today is National Maritime Day. India's maritime sector has scaled new heights and contributed to boosting trade and commercial activities, says Prime Minister. Stand Up India scheme completes 6 years today. Loans worth over 30,160 crore rupees sanctioned to more than 1,33,000 beneficiaries. In Sri Lanka, at least 40 lawmakers walk out of the alliance amid growing unrest over an economic crisis. IMD predicts heat wave condition in Gujarat, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Jharkhand, Bihar, Telangana and some other parts of the country during the next 5 days. And in sports, in FIH Women's Junior World Cup, Indian hockey team to square off against Malaysia and South Africa this evening. Lakshya Sen cruised to the second round of men's singles in Korea Open Badminton Championship at Suncheon. In IPL cricket, Rajasthan Royals to take on Royal Challengers Bangalore at the Wankhede Stadium in Mumbai. And with that, we end the Midday News.